All right, guys. One of the fated times is here. We have the details for EZA, LR, Kale, and Caulifla here. Now, this is actually a very important EZA. Unlike some other, LR EZAs we've had recently, Beerus and Whis, LR God Goku, like Beerus and Whis would matter if Beerus and Whis characters become better or something is going to release that's going to be very good for them. I know a lot of people like God Goku, but like LR God Goku's EZA for the most part didn't really matter too much because he's just there are some teams he's on, right, that he could help, but like for the most part he's on like really stacked lineups anyway, right? If he's good, awesome, he could help, but if he's not, it doesn't change anything. It's different for this Kale and Caulifla because they just gave us this monstrosity, this behemoth right here. If Kale had any help on Universe 6, I think she's easily the best. Like, she easily is better than God Goku. But right now, I mean, Universe 6 is in the running for one of the worst categories in the game. I would probably argue the Namekian category is better, right? Like, Namekians is a stronger team probably than Universe 6, right? Like, Universe 6 is in a very, very bad spot right now. So, this Kale, if she gets help, it's going to be huge. So, again, this Kale and Caulifla EZA is very, very important. We have translations from the homie Goresh. He said A right here. So, I don't know, like, do we think this is going to be very good or very bad by the homie Goresh? Now, if you guys are not aware, this character on release is one of the top 5 strongest characters in Dokkan history. They were so busted, it was ridiculous when they came out. They were too good. They made everything look like a joke. The Legendary Goku event became the hardest event in the game, and it came out I think about 3 weeks after. Wait, let's double check. Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 weeks because the Legendary Goku event came out on Goku Day. Hopefully, we get like the extreme Legendary Goku event this year. That would be fire, right, or something like that. But so like they were made for that, and then they're by far the best character in the game for that. And then Ajo LR Gohan came out later in the year, and like he was not like as good as these two. Like it was crazy. So. Whew. All right, let's take a look. So, LR, Kale, and Caulifla. So, they get 3 key and 130% attack and defense at the start of turn. So, that's up from 66. That's quite a buff. Okay. Launch an additional has a high chance to be a super. That's the same, right? Oh, no, the additional, that was only a guaranteed additional before. Now it has a chance to be a super. Okay, that's good. I assume that they still are stacking on both super attack. This is one of the things that made them so busted, is both of their, super attack effects were stacking defense. So they get another 66% attack and defense, and additional has a great chance to be a super when HP is 66% or less. So, okay. Already that could be up to 4 super attacks, and they're stacking every single time. Okay. Sure. 1 key up to 6, 6% chance to dodge up to 66% with each attack performed. I think that is unchanged. Yeah, that's exactly the same. This character's kit was very strong on release. Alright, so they get 10% attack per Universe 6 joint forces or pure Saiyan category ally in the team. That is exactly the same. Now, remember, the way this works, too, it stacks. As in, each instance of these is separate and it, like, buffs together. So, a character that's on all 3 is giving Kale and Caulifla 30% attack, right? A character who's on... So, like, the new Kale... Right, Kale is on Pure Saiyan and Universe 6, so she's going to be giving them 20% attack, right? It's not really a terrible ability right there, because, like, Universe 6, Pure Saiyan, like, it's characters you're probably going to be using them with anyway. Launches an additional super when there is a Universal Survival Saga or Pure Saiyan category enemy. Yes, so there are very little changes. What is her super attack effect? Stacks defense, raise attack for 1 turn, lowers attack. You know, I don't. This is bad for Kale. This doesn't look ideal here. For the most part, they're the same. It's just wow. Pretty much all that changed is this. They just got like an extra 70% attack and defense at the start of turn, and their first additional could be a super. It doesn't. It's just like when they came out again. The strongest fight in the game was the legendary Goku event, and like this would this stacks as well. So if an enemy is on both Universal Survival Saga and Pure Saiyan, that's 2 additional super attacks they get. So you go up against, the legendary Goku event, and they super, they additional, and then they could super again. So they could do 4 supers and an additional. I don't know. I think that this is not really gonna be that big here. Oh, that sucks. They probably didn't want to revive any viability for this character, but now, I mean, we look at Kale, and Kale is in a bad spot. I don't know that, like, this Kale and Caulifla, like, they're going to be better. They're still stacking. They still have the dodge, right? The little bit of extra stats at the start of turn should help them, but they're certainly not some mega top tier character or something like that, Kale and Caulifla. I think they're just going to be solid. But, like, Kale, what Kale needs is a slot 1 character for the first couple of turns, right? Kale in slot 2 in her Berserk form here, she's great. She's super tanky. She could tank some of the biggest bosses in the game. She's good. But she's a slot 2 character. And you do need the user of the Universe 6 ally. So Kale is in a really, really tough spot right here. Because this Kale and Caulifla is not enough. Okay, so that's, this becomes a pretty bad release already. This is twice this year they've done this. They dropped Super 17, they gave him no help, and now Kale, it's kind of the similar thing. It feels like this is going to be no help. I mean, Kale and Caulifla, you're going to be able to run them, but, I mean, you can see how their kit didn't really change much, right? Like, this is very conditional. Right, like, I think if this extra 66% attack is up and this another additional, right, like, that's great, but it again, it's conditional. You guys know how these really tough red zone bosses work. They just one-shot you, right? It's not like, oh, we got whittled down and whittled down and whittled down and whittled down. They just blow you away in one attack. So, yeah, I guess for Kale, the difference between Kale and Super 17, Kale has a much stronger kit anyway than Super 17, but Kale does have a Part 2 LR slot right here. We're going to be getting an LR next week, and I guess we're just sitting here praying that this LR is Universe 6, and it's a unit that'll work with Kale. I'm really hoping that we get like an LR Kefla, or I would be happy with like a Caulifla, Kale, and Kabe or something like that. But Kale needs it, man. Like they dropped a character that needs Universe 6 in a celebration where they fumbled the other 2 Universe 6 characters. The banding at Frost sucks. He's not gonna win you fights in red zones. He's gonna get killed, right? So he sucks. LR, Kale, and Caulifla, they're okay, but like they're just an option on the team, right? Unless I think this unit would be very devastating if they could take more advantage of this. I mean, I guess maybe they'd work well against Red Zone Broly, because they'd just be able to get so many super attacks in, but I don't know. I don't think they really look that crazy to me. This is sort of to be expected too, right? Because they were so good. I didn't even think, at first I was like, man, I just don't think they're even going to EZA them. But then I was like, well, maybe they'll EZA them just to get them out of the way. And I mean, that does sort of seem like what they did. Like they're just like, all right, let's just EZA them. And they're going to be a little bit okay, and we're not going too crazy. So there you go. Yeah, Kale is now in a really bad spot. Guys, Akatsuki, you could release a character like this The problem is Frost. If Frost was great, like, it's okay, right? For Super 17, if Dr. Shro and Dr. Mew were incredible, like, that would help Super 17 a lot. Like, they drop these great characters and then their banner unit sucks ass and it's supposed to help them, but it's unrunnable because they die in one hit. I don't know what the point is. What is the purpose of Frost? He's a great Dokkan Battlefield character, man. Congrats. Because it's like, so now, yeah, again, part 2 LR hopefully is pretty crazy. Let me know what you guys think. Again, they'll be okay. Like, they're not, like, unrunnable bad or anything like that, but they were really not given that much. It's just the extra stats. So, you know, early on in the fight, you probably need to hide them. Like, this character, you know, you need to get this dodge built up. You need to stack their super attack effects for their defense. So, and it's like Kale needs help the first 4 turns. Because once Kale transforms into this, she's defensive god slot 1. But, you know, she needs help the first couple of turns. And unfortunately, Kale and Caulifla did not that. Really, this exact thing is fine. As is, this is fine. But then Kale and Caulifla should have guarded for the first 4 turns. Or first 3 turns. Just guard for the first 3 turns is all you needed. If you literally have exactly this, but they guard for the first 3 turns, boom. That's all we needed. But they're like, yeah, nah. Nah, we're not letting y'all have this again. So, let me know what y'all think. Pretty much a bummer. I'm not even sure what I'm going to title this, man. I don't know. How could I title this video? I can't. WTF! Oh my god, they're so crazy! No.